The DJ Roundtable Show is live. It's the DJ Roundtable Show. Tell another DJ about
It is 8
the
o'clock.
show.
It is
Please
Tuesday
subscribe.
night. Do you know where your DJ's at? I know where I'm at, and I'm here with you. It is another DJ Roundtable, and unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever you look at, this is the last one for this year. I want to catch you guys for a second there. We will be back in the new year. We're going to give everyone some time off to enjoy with friends and family. And everybody, we have some people traveling, people with gigs and so forth, so on. As always, we try to have as many DJs as possible in here, but they're all working and they all have stuff going on. We do thank everyone who comes in tonight and want to thank you out there watching on Twitch. If you're out here watching on Twitch live, make sure that you know that we go live on Twitch at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then we rebroadcast onto YouTube on Mondays. I try to get it on by noon. And as always, make sure that you're on the YouTubes. Do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. It helps out tremendously. We have a bunch of new viewers and new people subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Hopefully one day we'll have availability to make a few cents and rub a couple pennies together and start paying for my cost. Yes, we do have some YouTubers here that have YouTube channels, and all their links are down below. So, oh yeah, buy a coffee at least, you know. Well, I don't drink coffee, so if Hunter's here, get coffee for him.
Buddy. Coffee, the elixir of life.
I don't drink coffee. Yeah, cookies. There we go. Buy some cookies. And I know before we started, Jeff was having a cookie. He had to test to make sure and do some quality control there for some cookies. I always love when everyone's here. Donuts. There you go. Now, Chris is making me hungry, so I hope you guys enjoy yourself. I hope you guys enjoy the show and that you have enjoyed this past year of episodes. And it's always a hard time to say goodbye to a year and goodbye to all the episodes we've done. But I have to thank you all for watching and seeing the channel and watching all the videos. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, there's tons of episodes. There's over 100 episodes here on YouTube of the DJ Roundtable Show. You can go all the way back and watch the older episodes while we're off for the next couple weeks. And please make sure you go to their channels, watch their gig logs, watch all the videos, especially with everything going on. We want to make sure to support all these other DJs here with their endeavors. With that said, I'm going to talk about something that has been in the news a lot lately. And that is the drones in New Jersey. And this is a caveat I want to put out there. We're not talking what they are, who they are, what they may be. We don't know right now as of today of recording. A week from now, 2 weeks from now, that may come out. They may find out whatever. I'm just saying, looking at drone safety. And what I mean by that, I have someone here who is a licensed drone pilot. That is Jeff. He is a license. And Jeff, I know a lot of people, you use drones for video, some B-roll sometimes for YouTube, or just go up there and take some cool pictures of spinning around the neighborhood. That's what I kind of do with my drone. You know, put up there, 100 feet, do a 360 and do some cool stuff. And that's it. You know, it's a toy for me. Some people use it for business. You know, they're looking for things. They are a tool. What they're doing in New Jersey, which everyone is saying is illegal. And I hope that, they figure out who it is, whatever, and they go from there. But as a licensed drone pilot, what are some safety tips you can give in a few minutes with for people who are not licensed, and how hard is the process to get licensed?
First of all, my first, I guess, advice is do not fly anywhere that you do not think you can fly. I mean, you've got to follow all the rules and regulations set out there by the FAA. If you're not sure, don't launch your drone. With that said, if you're only going a few feet in the air, it's probably not going to hurt anything, but I'm not advising that you should do that. But for a lot of the shots that we get at the TV station, we're 15, 20 feet in the air max. We're never going above 100 feet, rarely over 50, very rarely over 50. For all the buildings that we shoot and everything, it's we're between 5 and 25 feet in the air. So, and that's it. So yeah, but you got to follow the safety rules. If you're doing it for a business, then you should know what those rules are. You've got to have someone who is backing you up, who is if you're the pilot, then you need somebody who is an observer, and that is part of the rules and regulations that you have to follow by. If you're just doing it for fun, maybe you're just getting a B-roll shot for your YouTube channel or something, then it's a little more of a gray area. You don't have to have an observer. You can probably just get away with, piloting yourself. What was the second part of that question again?
What are some of the safety again, those are some of the safety things, but how hard is it to get a license if you wanted to
yes.
do this? How hard?
Getting a license is not easy. It costs money. There are tests that is the exact same test as getting your pilot's license, learning to fly. So you've got to pass all those tests, and that test is hard. I will be honest with you, even if you study, there are questions on there that are tough to pass. It's not that it's not just hey, I'm going to apply for a license and get it. No, you have to actually take a test wherever your local airport that administers those exams. You have to go there. So it's not easy, and mine I'll be honest, that's expired, and I don't think I'm going to go back and retake the test for another 2 years, because I'm getting out of that side of the business in my life. So it's just not top of order for me to continue to have my pilot's license. So, but it is tough. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It is not an easy test.
And that's the one thing is that the reason why I'm bringing this up, because of what's in the news and everything, understanding the law, understanding what you should do, I think it's very crucial. And again, I have a small drone I've talked about here. I have a little DJI drone. I fly it around my yard, look up at my roof and look up at, look over my neighborhood and like, oh, look, cool. I can see, a clear day. I can see the downtown Chicago, which is 40 miles west of me. So I had to go up, 50, 60, 70 feet in the air. I also watch, because again, the app and also the remote controller will tell you if there's anything nearby you can't launch, you can't do anything. It will check and tell you. That's what you got to look at. It's got to communicate and see, make sure you're not in a flight path or anything like that. And make sure that, again, if you're going to fly a drone, doesn't matter what size, make sure you follow the rules. The other thing also, I know a lot of people are very scared right now. I would probably say not to fly it at night, because people are seeing this in the news and they're hypersensitive with it. So unless you absolutely have to, I wouldn't say fly at night. Anybody else here?
The rules are you cannot fly a drone after dusk, unless you get a special variance through the FAA. So anybody who's flying at night is probably doing it illegally. I've seen a lot of fireworks, drone shots, beautiful stuff, incredible. Probably 90% of them are done illegally. So, but you can get approval through the FAA to fly at night. You just have to apply for it and get it approved. But what people are seeing up in New Jersey, they could be drones, they could be aircraft. It's hard to tell from the videos that we're seeing. So, but if they are drones, they're just flying around, not hurting anybody. So no big deal.
Well, again, you guys in the future who are watching this in the future will know what's going on. We here in the past, when this is being recorded, we have no idea. So hopefully it's nothing crazy or anything like that. I've seen a lot of crazy things online, especially if you start going in the rabbit hole on YouTube. I love YouTube, but sometimes there's rabbit holes for that, and I try to avoid that. But again, I want to talk really quickly about that, and make sure people understand that there are laws. There's a lot of safety involved in it. It is even though it's a small aircraft, they're not cheap. You know, if it falls out of the sky because something happens to a catastrophic failure, it's not a cheap thing to replace, and you don't want to damage either your drone or someone else's property. And that's the thing is that that's kind of about it on that end. Hopefully that again in the future people know what's going on, and then we can go on from there. So I wanted to ask, and I talked a little bit this last week when we had the last episode, is a year in review, and I wanted to ask you guys who are here tonight, who's available tonight. Uh, it's been a year, you know, another year in the books with the show and stuff like that, and we have talked about a lot of subjects, and I know some of the guys here are a little newer, some of the guys here have been around for much longer in the show, but I wanted to ask them for what they have or understand, or if they've seen before, what was their favorite episode or favorite topic that we talked about. So I'm going to start actually with Chris on this one and ask him what was his favorite topic or episode that we've done here.
Well, being the second newest person on the show right now, had been 2 weeks ago. I think we had a very incredible, good topic. We all took our time and answered pretty well on what will we do, on improving our services, what are our tips and tricks. And I think that gave a good heart to everybody here, to all of your listeners and watchers.
And what is there any funny thing that happened again, I know you're newer, but anything funny that you found out that you love talking about here that really made you laugh?
Anything funny? Not too much. It just comes and goes every week. Everyone's got stressful work days after this, so we're here to help Buddy out on his show. So I mean, we had some good topics, and we had some laughs beforehand and after. Sorry, you guys don't get to see and hear that. Maybe we should do
we've laughs in the show too. We have laughs in the show.
Not that many. I'm the newest, so you guys had some older ones, I'm sure. No.
Well, again, the big thing is that you're enjoying your time on the show. That's what this is supposed to be, a unstressful thing, a de-stressful thing.
It's relaxing.
Yeah, this is supposed to be sit back and spitballing ideas, sharing your experiences and sharing your knowledge with other people. And I appreciate everyone here with their knowledge and expertise, what they've learned DJing and other things too. Again, Jeff being having a drone license and working in TV. Chris is a IT person. Mr. Dixon as a school teacher. Paul, he worked in the transit system for a while as a transit officer. And then Brentley, he's got tons of years of DJing in clubs and bars. I have DJing for tons of years as well, like most of the other people here. And then I have, retail experience for retail management and business experience, how to run businesses for, I ran for other people, for big corporations. So it's we all have different backgrounds, but the thing is, it's fun coming here and sharing those ideas and sharing that information. So I'm going to go down to Dwayne. And Dwayne, I wanted to hear from you. What was your favorite topic over the past year that you loved covering?
I don't really have a favorite topic. I just like the fact that I can come onto the show and like actually talk to people that I see, as opposed to always trying to text and wait for a response. I like that part. And being that I'm trying to take my hobby and make it into a business, to be able to hear you all's experiences and you all can give me some good advice to get to, direct me in the right path to go. So I would say just about all of it. Every week I'm like learning something new that I can like apply to what I'm trying to do.
And that's one of the things that we try to talk to everyone about that stuff because what happened to us, we want to make sure people don't fall in the same pitfalls. And those little things here and there, those little bumps in the road, it can be annoying. It can cost you money. And I don't want to see people spend money and spin their wheels on things that, hey, I ran into this before. And Dwayne, even though he is not, he's going into the business now after retiring as a school teacher, he was still DJing before, and he has tons of knowledge on music. So it's not like he's someone, a 18 or 19 or 20-year-old kid starting out. He's an adult, but he's done this and had passion for a long time, and he's taken that passion and grown it more into a full business versus before it was a part-time, hey, I'm gonna dabble and see if I like it. And he liked it, and he wants to grow his business, and that's one of the key things. So I'm gonna ask you, Dwayne, is there anything that stands out in your mind that was a funny thing that happened on the show?
Um, I'm trying to think because there's have been a couple of times where we had discussed something like what is our emergency plan or what do we have in our bag, and I went out and did a gig that weekend, and what we discussed ended up happening. So having that happen, and let me see what else. I'm trying to think. It's hard to think right on the spot like that. Uh,
See, this is funny. This to me is funny because I would try. You guys out there don't understand. I don't really tell them much information because I want honest information from them, and I'm not trying to put them on spotlight. I'm just trying to tap into them and saying, okay, here's a situation. It's not I got you. There's no right or wrong answers. It's what they would do, and what Dwayne is, saying, hey, we talked about this, and all of a sudden something happened. I think that, I'm laughing because the fact that it happens a lot, and it's stuff that you see. And I'm glad that, we were able to prep you a little bit for that incident, and you actually got through it very easily.
and the other thing is that sometimes when you do ask us questions, I like to sit back and see what kind of responses you're going to get. Because I know that certain people, they come out there, I would say it's not, they're kind of harsh and they come in and they're straightforward, and it's kind of like funny. It's like you have your PC people, your politically correct people over here, but I know that sooner or later this person's going to tell a good story. So I sit back and wait for it to come.
And that's the thing is that I hope that, again, this past year you were having fun, and I hope everyone was having fun this past year on the show, enjoying themselves. And that I say this over and over again. You'll hear me say this a bunch of times. I love this group. I love these group of people. It is a lot of fun talking to them before and then during and then after the show. We hang out a little bit afterwards talking. Unfortunately, Brentley's a lot of times got to leave because he's got to play dad and he's got to take care of his daughter. And I don't blame him. She's been on the show a few times, and she hasn't been on the show lately. Again, she's doing daughter stuff and kid stuff, which is great. But Bradley, I know that family is very important to you and stuff like that. I hope
yeah.
that you and your family are going to enjoy this holiday season, as well as everyone else here does as well. But what was your favorite topic this past year on the show?
So my favorite topics are always, or have been, when we start talking about the expos and the benefits, like when, Matt going to NAMM. I went to MEX last year in Midwest DJs Live. Didn't Matt go to Atlantic City too? So getting to hear what, he saw, but also being able to let other folks know that if you want to grow your education through some of these seminars that they offer at Mobile Entertainment Expo, Midwest DJs Live, and all of them, that it's a great opportunity to at least get your feet wet and see what's out there to learn and who to learn from, and then delve off on your own path of learning. And from it all, I've come to a fork in the road of where my next learning venture is going to be. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go take the Marbecca courses. And more I hear about it, I should, but my lack of emotion is an issue for those classes. that I'm kind of ice cold when it comes to public speaking outside of, yelling and screaming in a club, get your hands up, do all that stuff, or emceeing like a wet t-shirt contest or an ugly sweater contest. Oh, once a year, every year, up until last year, I was DJing Whiskey River's wet t-shirt contest as a part of the official Country Boom Festival after show. So the last thing you did after the festival was make your way down to Whiskey River and get to see the contest. I did that for 3 or 4 years in a row, but just like doing ugly sweater contest. All that's easy. That's no-brainer stuff. As long as you have a personality, can kind of ad-lib a little bit, give and take with the contestants, and have some unique conversations that you can do in 10 seconds or less. That's where all that comes into play. But on the wedding side of it, the MC skills that we all have to be at a certain caliber in order to do a wedding. And I know that mine are more than adequate, but I want to get to a different level than where I'm at. So Midwest DJs Live and Mex both gave me 2 opportunities to look at which class I really want to delve into. And more I think about it, I'm definitely, even though my mentor, Mitch Taylor, really says I should do Marbecca, I'm really thinking I should take the Bill Herman, crafting your customer experience before I get into Marbecca, maybe to open me up a little bit more to the emotional process that goes into it all. Because my wedding MC skills, they're cold, they're cut, they're dry, to the point, and I could be better about it. So that's like what, hopefully somebody else who is watching can pick up something like that and be like, that's a great idea. I need to, go down the road and learn more.
And that's one of the things that I'm glad that your favorite episodes talk about continuing education in the DJ area and going to seminars. The marquee they have here that will be, I want to say in June. You can look up for Marquee in Chicago. It's one of the things. They have a lot of classes there. There's a lot of great DJs come in and talk about stuff. They have seminars. One of the things about seminars, I will say, is that sometimes you get to listen to what the person is. Are they giving you information, or are they selling snake oil? Are they saying, hey, buy this, book, or buy this online process or product, and you're going to be the best DJ ever? You have to look at that and say, okay, fine, great. Is it really, truly, or is it, is it a lie? And that's one of the things you have to look at.
With what you just said there, a lot of the speakers, they might Alan Berg. Everybody knows who he is if you're into sales and weddings. And it really seems that they're not allowed to promote during their spot. You can say, hey, at the start of it or at the end of it, they might, mention they have a new thing, but all of the speakers aren't really up there saying, go do this, buy my book, buy this product. They are more real, especially with Mobile Entertainment Expo and more so at Midwest DJs Live. They are fairly adamant about you getting the education you're paying for. So, like, they brought for 2 years running, they brought Digital Dave in for some DJ technique courses. Last year, they had Even Steve. And I will say, having 2 different people teaching similar stuff, Even Steve was a far better instructor for what he wanted to get across, and was even though Digital Dave is an awesome DJ, his teaching style wasn't as accessible as Even Steve. I don't know why, but all of the courses they had at Midwest DJs Live are not sales focused of buying something from that person. This is what I'm teaching you. Take it or leave it. And for example, Mitch Taylor's been on his book kind of thing through all the conferences, Words to Live By, music. And he's reviewing, different parts of songs, what this lyric means and all that. And he might be the closest to a sales pitch you'll have in the whole thing at Midwest DJs Live, because he's talking about what he wrote in his book. But God's honest truth, that Midwest DJs Live, because it's all put together by all DJs wanting to teach and get better, they're really kind of strict about making sure what they're putting out there is to educate and help you. And if it doesn't, they don't seem to want it at their thing.
And again, that's a crucial thing is the event or is the facilitator of the event, are they filtering this out? But again, you have to look at what you want to listen to. And again, you kind of have to sometimes take it with a grain of salt, and say, okay, fine, great. Again, this is what they feel works best. You also need to decide what works best for you. But I would definitely say that it is not a bad thing to take classes on sound, how to do things, how to better your production, how to, again, Brentley just said how he reduces, how he says things at weddings. He wants to have more of a presentation there, how to improve your presentation. And that's not a bad thing to do. And I applaud you for doing that, because it's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to say, hey, I need help with this. And what do I need to do? How can I adapt and overcome what's going on? How can I perfect my craft? And that's the thing.
Exactly.
As DJs, we should be looking at always to better ourselves. And that's a crucial thing. So next question is, what was your funniest thing this past year that you could think about?
Definitely us talking about eats. Probably the hot dog thing being the most. Because who puts mayonnaise on a hot dog? Come on,
Kevin
now.
does.
Come on now. I mean, I'm from Chicago, even though I live in the Cheese Curtain and I DJ in Green Bay supporting the Packers. Go Pack, go. But yeah, food, I mean, we all like, and being DJs, we all get outside, well, definitely at weddings, we all get samples of some pretty good eats, depending the venue we were at. And all of us, getting out and about, we're men, we do manly things like eat hot dogs and drink swill beer and things like that, But yeah, the eating thing is one of my favorite things to do, even though I don't have the flat body I did even a couple of years ago. And the drinking thing, definitely. But like when we're joking about Malort, it had to be earlier in the year. And if you're not from Chicago, you probably won't get it. But if you come to Chicago and hang out with a Chicagoan who likes to drink, we're going to get you a shot of Malort. We'll do it with you, and we'll laugh as you're drinking it just to see your facial expression. Because it is some of the most god-awful alcohol to drink. I almost enjoy it now. But those were my two favorite conversations for fun. Hot dogs and drinking.
There you go. And, the funny thing is that I really would like to send, and if I could, I don't know if it's legal. I know it's not legal, but send Jeff and Dwayne and even Paul a little bottle of Malort. And unfortunately, you can't do that. It's illegal to send alcohol across state lines. But I'd love to share some Illinois, Chicago flavored beverage with them that they can then.
It's only illegal if you get caught.
Hey, I'm following the law. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get to knock at the door. What's this box all dripping with liquid? No.
Gotta learn to
Just
pack
put the
it really
description
well.
as-
Sure.
Okay, if little truth, not that I've ever shipped beer from Chicago to California or anything from Las Vegas back to Wisconsin, but there are a few pointers I can offer. One, Ziploc baggies are your best friends if you're shipping any beer of any kind. 2, bubble wrap. 3, newspaper. Bubble wrap, obviously Ziploc baggie it a couple times. Bubble wrap said can or product, and then pack it in newspaper so it has cushion and it can survive the bouncing. And you can only ship it via ground so it doesn't go up in the air and isn't subjected to pressure. And there's your shipping tips for shipping beer across state lines.
We don't condone breaking the law. We don't condone doing anything.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm
dun,
surprised that you guys have laws pertaining to transporting alcohol across state lines, because I mean in Australia it's like you want to send a bottle of Bundaberg rum
Bradley,
to
here they come
your
for you,
best mate
brother.
in Western Australia, you can.
See,
It's a lot
some
of
states you
dealing.
can't get certain types of liquor in, and for example, where they make Jack Daniels whiskey, it's a dry county, so you can't even sample Jack Daniels legally at the distillery. So there are some, or like in Chicago, because of the old mob days when Capone ran the north side of Chicago, liquor distribution lines, what beer company can distribute to what areas of the city of Chicago. So, for example, Company A can distribute to my bar that's on a corner, but if my friend's bar is directly across the street and over the line, Company A can't distribute to them. It has to go to Company B. So there are all these crazy laws that were all from the mob era that haven't really been changed over when it comes to transportation, distribution, and liquor sales. And those go back to immediately after December 5th, 1940 something, when Prohibition got lifted.
And now the
Prohibition lived in
mobsters
30s.
don't carry Tommy guns. They
30,
sit
sorry,
in political parties and in seats of power. So the roles of the mobster have changed. From gangster with a Tommy gun to a politician in a suit.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
those laws still apply.
Chicago has a lot of unique liquor laws. Illinois has a lot of unique liquor laws. Like one of the things I said here before, because when venues have open drinking, that means you can go up to the bar as many times as you want to until the bartender cuts you off. For open bar, it's a flat rate that the couple pays for, or whoever's paying for the wedding. You can't do shots in Illinois. I can't go up to a bar and ask for a shot at Jack Daniels. It has to be mixed or it has to be on ice. I can't just go up there and grab a shot. There's no shot glasses. So it's one of the things that Illinois, every state has different laws, and sending liquor from one state to another state because of those laws differences, I can get myself in trouble or get that person in trouble. So I don't want to do that. But there's other things I can send to people. And, I definitely am sending some stuff out. I'm sending some Christmas cards out, so people will get Christmas cards. It's always nice to send that. And make sure you send your Christmas cards out.
When it comes to those crazy liquor laws, I can't remember which one of the Carolinas it was, but years ago, you could, I think if you were at a bar, you could buy beers and all that, but if you wanted hard liquor, they had to give you the airplane bottle and the mixer alongside of it, and they couldn't do any of that for you. I don't know if
ABC stores.
Yeah.
It's North Carolina. Yeah. We still have ABC stores here.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's in North Carolina by law, you can only buy hard liquor in an ABC store. You can't buy it at the grocery store. Only wine and beer can be sold at grocery stores.
New York is
North Carolina law.
that you go to a liquor store versus going to a grocery store. You get beer, but you can't get hard liquor at a grocery store.
Versus I can go over here to Jewel or Meyer or to Woodman's, and I can get Hennessy next to Budweiser, next to
You can get it all.
whatever wine.
I mean, I remember years ago in Illinois, we couldn't even buy little airplane bottles were against the law to sell. And I think they lifted that law outside of Cook County like maybe 5 or 6 years ago. But you couldn't buy an airplane bottle in the city limits.
That's because it's like a shot right there.
Yeah.
That's the reason.
I can go to Binny's and get the little bottles from Binny's. I know they have it here. I don't know in the city because I don't drink, so I don't buy alcohol all the time. If I buy alcohol, it's usually I'm going to someone's house, I'm giving them as a gift, or I'm having someone over who drinks, and I'm going to give some drinks to them. There you go, some gifts. And that's the thing is that when you don't drink, you don't know all what they have at the store. But Binny's Beverage Depot. You go to their website. If you guys are interested in Chicago stuff, you can look through that stuff and see what they do. I think they do ship, but you can double check on there. One of the things I see over here, I see some people talking in the chat. First thing first, Adrian E., welcome and Merry Christmas to you and your family. I also to Kevin. He says, Adrian's first says, what's happening, folks? Kevin says, I'm listening. I'm just sitting here at Arby's with mayonnaise added to the roast beef sandwich. It kicks it up a notch. Jeff asks, what? No horseradish? And Kevin says, no, not a fan of horseradish, but I do put Arby's sauce on there to the point it's swimming. I would like to see that combo mix.
Try some honey Dijon instead.
There you go. some Arby's sauce and salad dressing or mayo. So I guess he's making his own special sauce there in Arby's. So
He's got
Kevin,
his own
hopefully you're
concoction
enjoying
going.
your Arby's and enjoying your dinner. And glad you're tuning in here tonight. Um, I'm going to go over to my next DJ here. I'm going to go over to Paul in Australia. And he's the newest one, but he's also watched many of the episodes. And I got to ask you, what is your favorite topic for this past year that you're aware of?
Um, Probably the one that Brentley touched on. Brentley touched on, where we were discussing equipment and and probably another one from earlier in the year where you were talking about DJ controllers and the pros and cons of, standalone as opposed to a computer-based, controller. So, or a laptop based controller. But I guess there's a few, but there some that come to mind. But pretty much a lot of the shows, and there's still a lot of shows that I haven't got through and I haven't even touched yet. And I sort of learn a little bit from all of the shows, even before even now I'm going back and looking at other shows and even rehashing, ones that, I think I've come on 4 shows here for the DJ Roundtable. But I'm learning, even just in discussion here, little bits that you guys say, it's like, oh, I didn't know that. I'll use that. I'll it's a bit of knowledge, you sort of, you never know. It's like there's been times when you're just DJing. It's, oh yeah, you can do it this way. I remember, the guys were talking about that a few weeks ago. So it's, there's always something to learn. So not any one particular, segment or part of the show with you guys.
So any funny thing that you think of when you think of the show, besides talk about Arby's sauce and sending and different kind of liquors?
Yeah. Gee, some of the funny stuff. It'd have to be one of the first shows that you were talking about pizzas and all the different types of pizzas. How everybody says, "Oh, a Chicago deep dish," whereas you've enlightened me and says, "Well, the deep dish thing is a tourist thing," the different pizza sort of, I guess, toppings that Wisconsin have different toppings there as opposed to what they have in New York or Chicago or LA or wherever the case may be.
I think Wisconsin is kind of more in line with us, just the Midwestern kind of mentality.
Most definitely. There's a few places that offer Chicago
Sauce
style pizza up
belongs
here.
underneath the cheese.
I'm not disagreeing with that, but even though I am a born and raised Chicagoan, there is the rare occasion that I do like that stuffed cheese pizza. I will not lie, and I like all the heartburn and stomachache that goes with it.
Deep dish pizza, sauce on top is because the way it's done, it gives a different flavor. And the sauce is not the typical pizza sauce because it's chunky. It's a chunky tomato sauce, just like you put pasta sauce on top of pasta. Same thing. It's the same concept. It's designed to hit your flavor.
It's all good.
Those deep dish pizzas just remind me of, if you're familiar with shepherd's pies, the mincemeat with the gravy and the potato on the top. It's just, for me, it's just too much. But it's like, I'm sort of, regular either deep pan pizza or thin and crispy, what is it? Any pizza's good pizza. But generally,
like shepherd's pie, it's almost like a stew. It's just you got extra stuff on it,
Too much, yeah. But
and then, but Kevin's saying that thin crust Domino's is the bomb. Kevin.
Oh, yuck!
Domino's, you might as well buy it like a frozen pizza from Walmart.
The worst pizza around here is for us Little Caesar. I just can't do it.
Have you ever had toppers?
To me, any true pizza is just mozzarella. It's not a combination of mozzarella and some other cheese. And the worst pizza, the pizza I will not touch, is actually down in St. Louis. They have great crust, but they have this cheese called Provel. You can look it up.
Um,
Provel is a
Mhm.
mix of Swiss and like three other cheeses. So it's like 4 cheeses total.
You
And they
ever
put
have
it on
pepper
there and
jack
it
pizza?
doesn't it turns goopy and it turns like
Yeah.
it's like this river of melted milk. Best way to
Mhm.
describe it.
Yeah,
Not
no.
something I would want.
It's almost like brie. You think it's too warm in here for the brie?
Oh, yeah, it might be.
Oh, what do you got? Who's chatting us?
So, some of the other funny segments are when the show finishes, when we sort of, the 20 minutes, half an hour that we chat after the show's wrapped up, and many are laughs there that what happens after the show stays after the show, so
We have some good
Absolutely.
conversations. Provel is a combination of Swiss cheddar and provolone cheeses. Provel has a low melting point and a gooey texture and buttery flavor. So you have Swiss, provolone, and cheddar in a cheese. And again, you can find
Cheddar?
provolone, you can find Provel, you can look at it for it. The companies will ship it to you nationwide if you want to try. Uh, their crust in St. Louis is very similar to the crust, thin crust here in Chicago or Chicagoland. So it's very similar. But yeah, that cheese I will not touch with St. Louis cheese. If I go down to St. Louis, which I've gone down there plenty of times, I asked, "You have mozzarella or Provel?" They say Provel. I won't touch your pizza. They say, "What's
or do
wrong?" I'm
you
like, "I'm
take
from
your own
Chicago."
cheese? Do you take your own cheese?
Gotta be mozzarella.
I'm like,
Sorry.
I'm
Gotta
a
be
pizza
mozzarella.
purist.
That's right.
Um, Kevin says Red Robin on a gas grill is Red Baron on a gas grill is quite good. How about go around the room? What topic would you like to see in the next year? My goal is
Oh,
to get
for
my
sure.
friend to be on your show. We will never. you
What does
will
he
never.
say? He can't say it. Come on. Now you choked him up. Come on, people. We want to hear him.
uh, you'll never be the same.
No.
Ah, yeah.
Spit
I'd
it
love to
out.
have your friend on here. You should tell him. I can't remember his name. You got to put his name in the chat. We want to call him out. We're going to call him out on. And yeah, Jeff is recording this. So that way we got the recording going that we want him on the show.
I'm playing music. You just can't hear it there.
Oh, well, there you go. That too. But
I got computer games going on, so
yeah,
playing some reruns.
I have left Jeff. So your friend Jeff, if you want to send him this video when it goes live next Monday, Jeff, we're calling you to come onto the show. Come up here. I want to hear your input on some things. I have some. I have a lot of interesting questions, and not bad questions, just how he likes to do things. And it's always interesting to hear from other people. That
Let's
to me
do
is
a
the big
round robin
goal.
with a new guy.
Oh, it's not having. We're not making fun. We're not having fun with anyone.
No, it's not fun, but
But
learn about
again,
him.
hearing something how someone else looks at things and does things differently. I do know he's not a fan of line arrays that some of us use. He's more of a point source speaker person, so a two-way cabinet. But it's fun. Now we have a few minutes left, and I have tons of topics for next year, Kevin. So we talk about stuff afterwards as well. Also, no subs. You know what? I never really ran subs that many most of the time. Most of the time, I ran without subs because with a 15-inch top, it's a lot of bass. Unless it's a huge amount of people, I always offers an option, and not everyone wanted subs. So, but I will ask this question from you guys. In the past year, what was the best purchase that you got for 2024? What was the thing that you bought in 2024 that you're like in love with? Also, Adrian E asks, is there going to be a driftless hangout, Brentley?
I'm assuming Ed and I haven't talked in a couple weeks, and I was gonna hit him up this weekend before, like after the school semester ends for him because he's a teacher, and be like, let's look at a couple dates in February or January, and let's all meet up somewhere and get really wasted.
So I'm thinking of Brat Stop.
I hate Kenosha. Come on. Come on.
Easy for me.
Madison, somewhere, a little bit something.
Oh man,
Plus,
you gotta go.
they've
They gotta go near the Dells. Oh God.
They've got Ramen King and a Ramen Kid in Madison as well. One of my favorite places to eat in the downtown area in Madison. Not gonna lie.
There you go. All right, so, well, I bet Buddy is in for that. I might be going. It depends. I saw a couple people complain how far it was. I'm like, okay, it's just as far for me. I'm coming from Illinois, so we'll see. But I want to hear from you guys. What was the best purchase you had for 2024? What was the thing that you bought in 2024 that you're like, man, I'm glad I bought this? So I'm going to start with Jeff, like I did before, because he's recording everything. Jeff, is there a certain item you bought for 2024 that you're like, man, this is the best purchase ever?
No. I have not purchased anything that made me say that. About the only thing that I've purchased for this year that I've used is my Mackie Thump Go. That is a nice little portable battery operated speaker that gets the job done. And I've used it at multiple weddings and even used it at my son's soccer game for announcements and player introductions and playing the national anthem when their system went out there on the field. So, it came in handy. So that's about all that I've purchased in the past year that I can really talk about.
All the other stuff is secret.
What about you, Paul? Is there a thing that you bought this year that for your that you're in love with?
I just I upgraded my gear. I went and brought Jeff's favorite Hopper speaker, a pair of Maui LD Systems Maui 28 G3s. But I like those. They do the job. And the Denon Prime 4 Plus that I brought, they're probably the two, biggest purchases I've done this year. So yeah.
Are you playing around with the stems with it now or no?
No. It's like I can DJ and it's like, I can, rock a crowd, but, I've done radio and I can, do, work on Adobe Audition and put together a 30-second, radio spot. But, for the life of me, I can't seem to get stems, and, have them analyzed and the stems implemented, then transfer them back, and it's a lot of mucking around. So I've resigned myself to getting pre-done acapellas and having prepared, ready-made acapellas ready to go, and doing that rather than mucking around with analyzing stems and then transferring it back, and so yeah.
So, okay, you got a couple good things that you like and you got to use it. I'm gonna go to Dwayne. Dwayne, is there something that you got this year that you're like, oh my God, this is awesome?
I like my glow sticks because it's something real simple. I can just put up and have something on the dance floor. And then I also like my LED curtain. So when I'm like not doing something formal and I just want to add more lights or anything, the kids like it too. So I just put it on my DJ booth and I get the extra lights and stuff going.
All right, that's anything else other than the lights?
Not really. It's more so software. I buy a lot of software or subscriptions. So I'm trying to get into the AI thing because it's starting to get a whole lot better. So trying to see how I can use that to further get my ideas out quicker and then help me to do multitask better.
So I actually made a song for Kevin about mayonnaise, about his thing. I can show you guys a little bit later afterwards, after the show. If you guys want to hang out and listen to it really quickly, I can easily play it. But yeah, I love using the AI software making songs. I've made quite a few songs that I'm like, it's not perfect. Um, but the thing is that it is going the right direction and with a lot of work. And I enjoy it. It's a fun thing. It's a fun process doing that. To me, it's worth my time and worth my energy to sit back and think of lyrics and how to structure a song to make it sound good and cohesive. And that's the big thing is you want to do something, you want something that sounds, right, not something that's like, that sounds like crap. You don't want that. And that's the hard part is, you go through multiple renditions before you kind of like let it loose. And it's like, oh, is this good? No, I want to change this lyric around, that lyric around. I'm hoping the next editions that the software they will let you go and change things.
Oh, they do.
Um,
The new one does. So you can if you have a song already done, you can go back and highlight the section and you can change the words and it'll change. Also, you can download the song, then re-upload it, and you still have that same thing. So it's got a whole lot better. And then you can also sing into it, and they can use your voice to do the extra song. So
oh, I don't want my voice to do that. No, I don't. I don't have a singing voice. No, no, no,
Auto
no one.
tune.
Yeah, no one wants to hear me singing. No, even Tracy, when I'm with her and I sing to her, she's like, "Stop it! Just stop it!
Do we need
Stop
to
the
call
madness,
PETA for you?
please."
Buddy, if you start singing, do we have to call PETA?
Might have to.
Dwayne gets it. Anyone else get it?
Might have to.
Oh,
All
I
right,
get it.
tell Jeff got it. No, Brentley? No?
Oh, I get it. I totally
Oh.
get it.
Okay.
I totally get it. People.
How about the
using
rest of the
animals.
world? They think they got that one?
They all got it.
All
Thanks,
right.
Chris. Thanks for throwing me at the butt. Hold on. Do I hear a backup alarm?
Back
Do I hear
along.
do I hear Jimmy Spin's backup alarm? I think I hear a bus
wait.
backing up. Chris knows Jimmy Spins. Unfortunately, he he's watching over us. He is a dear friend we lost a few years ago. Know him from Disc Jockey News and got to know him more when the world shut down. And great guy. Loved his humor. He always loved teasing with everyone. And one of the things he was famous for was the backup alarm of a school bus for backing the bus up. And I finally had it on quick hit on my computer. So when we were talking, he hit someone. He would say, I had the backup alarm for him, and the backup alarm of the bus backing up on someone. So yeah, yeah, back that bus up on people. Jimmy is always in our prayers and thoughts. Oh God. So Chris, going
This
to
is
you.
great artwork.
Yep.
Me?
Yeah, going to you.
Oh,
Anything you bought this
I got
year
a
was
lot
your
of good
like
things happen this year.
okay.
I got 2 laptops, this year. One for the DJing business, and I bought a smaller one for my my IT business and stuff, kind of business office management stuff. So that handles all my paperwork and stuff. And then as I went to Atlantic City and I won some Galaxy tubes, I won a laptop stand. I did quite well this year at the DJX for my first year going to that in 12 years. So things are
Sorry,
doing nice.
my ignorance, Chris. What are Galaxy tubes?
Those are your LED tubes
Okay.
made by JMaz. They were pretty basic as, still nice, easily set them out, let them go, So
They've
but
got to
they
be better
are
than my
infrared
Freedom
controlled.
Sticks.
Yeah, definitely not the same thing, for sure.
I don't know. I think the one from JMaz are kind of equal to the Freedom Sticks. They're a little bit better, but they're kind of close to.
The Galaxy
Um,
tubes are all infrared only, so there's no radio frequency control. There's not DMX with them, so they are very basic.
Those are
know.
the same as the glow tubes.
I don't compare them difference.
They're
I
all.
wasn't really looking to get tubes. I just run them won them on a regular raffle. I was hoping there's one guy before me, he won the EV8, the Everse 8. I was like, "Ooh, you want to trade?" He's like, "If I didn't already buy Galaxy tubes, I would have." Like, 'cause he wanted tubes, but he bought them the week prior before going to the show. I'm like, oh well. So
I will stick with my Asteras because those things they do a
Yeah.
lot, especially you see them in movies, and when I watch movies, a lot of times I'll see, oh, that's an Astera, oh, that's a
Yep.
Astera, or a TV
Mhm.
show, I'll see the stuff. I'm like, yep, that's a Astera. Once you have the product and you know the product, you spot it up very quickly. Like one of the shows, uh, Master Chef, they lined the stadium with Astera sticks, same sticks I use for dancing. They have them on poles, and they have zip ties. You look really closely, zip ties holding the top and the bottom of the tube, and it's like, yeah, they zip tied up there, and they have them in certain places the lights, and they use Astera tubes. I'm like, yep. So because they just work really they work really well, and they put out a good amount of light.
No
Um,
flicker with them too, so they're camera
they're,
ready.
yep, they're flicker free. They're designed for a film and for television. Um, I agree. I got to let's see here. Oh, Adrian says Freeport down in Freeport, Illinois. LL, just kidding. I'm waiting to buy the Brentley trash cans. So a Brentley edition trash can, which if you don't follow, you're not in the Facebook group of Driftless DJs. Um, Brentley has taken pictures of his trash cans, and I said something very much that
I
adult
love me a
content.
trash can. I
He
love me a
trash can love because they always show pictures of trash cans, and one of the trash cans he defiled in a picture.
Oh yes, I did.
It was just him pretending, not ain't real. But the thing is that's been a running joke now up in that group. So
All because of one venue. One venue. One venue.
one picture, one picture says 1,000 words.
One venue. And I still marvel at the fact that they left trash cans on the wall with the altar inside during the ceremony. And when I went back to
Oh.
the couple's pics and looked at them, you can't Photoshop that out. It's 3 feet wide. It's just there on either end of the altar.
Well, it's one of the things that I guess the more ruralness of the area that you're in, because La Crosse is what, 50,000 people?
55 plus you have like the communities that are bumped up against us, so they're kind of like suburbs. We've probably got like 85,000 people within the area. So
And
it's
what,
definitely
Naperville has
a-
170,000?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm happy not to be there.
I've wandered around online on Google Maps around La Crosse and was quite impressed by the Native Americans playing La Crosse statue, the bronze statue.
They took that out of the park actually.
Yeah,
Yeah. Too
it's
many
been there
people-
since like 1981 or something.
Too many people after the whole 2020 and everybody became awoken about different rights and causes.
People got
Right or
mad,
wrong.
and
And
Yep.
I'm not. It's not my place to pass judgment, but they did what they wanted to do, and a few other things got torn down around here as well.
Crazy.
And-
Gotta love the woke folk, so
And the one thing that it keeps repeating in my mind when you see this, yeah, our history may not be right at all in any way, shape, or form. But if you don't remember it and not necessarily celebrate it, but remember and understand what each element of this history is about, or you're going to repeat it. And
Yep.
have
that's the same.
And-
You don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And that's
Yeah.
very true with a lot of things. History should be taught, history should be embraced, whatever it is, good, bad, whatever. And then you can sit there and say, okay, fine, great. We don't want to do this again. That's the
Exactly.
way it should be. Oh, well, we're ending with a history lesson here for the night. Want to thank you all for watching tonight and sitting here and spending your Tuesday night with us for the past year. We'll be again back in January. So it won't be the, I think I said the 14th or 15th. I had to look at the schedule, but you'll be notified here on Twitch if you didn't hit that follow button here on Twitch. And if you're not following us on YouTube, you'll hit the subscribe button. You won't know when a new episode drops, but there will be new episodes. There will be plenty of new episodes to come. We'll continue this on, and we'll talk about a bunch of things. And again, I have my paper with a bunch of subjects which we will be talking about. You guys can't see it. I did that on purpose, so you guys can't read. So you guys can't see what I have subject to talk about. But I have tons of subjects to talk about because there's always good stuff to know about with DJing. And there's always great things to learn. And hopefully you learned a lot this past year. And from all of us here to all of you and your friends and family, we wish you a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, or whatever holiday you follow, as well as make sure that do something kind for someone this holiday season. You know, if you can donate, if you go past a red kettle, drop a few coins in there. If you can help someone out, do something to help a fellow person out, fellow man, woman, or child. Donate a coat, donate a toy. Do something joyful and celebrate with friends and family. Give them hugs, hold them tight, and just remember, in this crazy world, sometimes it's not just your friends and your family you have to think about. You have to think about yourself. So make sure you take care of yourself this holiday season. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll be back next year to watch new episodes. And that's a camera. I'll focus on me. Hopefully next year you'll watch new episodes. Don't forget to follow, like, subscribe to the channel. As always, usually I ask someone to go out tonight, but tonight I'm going to give them all time off for the holidays, so I don't have to worry about saying anything for tonight. But thank you. Thank you all. Have a merry, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Good night, all.